How to spot a troll pretending to be what they are not. Trolls come from Northern European mythology. They're ugly, supernatural creatures with lots of hair usually, and they're used to scare children in children's stories. There's another definition that they might be a derivative of the word trawl, to catch a fish. Nowadays the word has been utilized online as a person who makes derogatory or inflammatory comments to elicit a reaction. I do get some criticism online. Usually it's about 1% or less of the total number of comments on any given video. And the most common one is just a question. It's not really a troll. How much do you get paid by the CPC? And the answer I often give is about the same as you get from MI5 or the CIA. That sounds ridiculous, I know. But if you're going to accuse me of something, then you're going to get it right back at you. However, when I have a video on Xinjiang, it used to be Tibet, it rises to about 10%. They're very well organized, and I think they probably have a system of advising others. A long, long time ago, before we had group chats on social media, we had a cascading system for disseminating information. My boss would call me and 2 others. I'd call 3 others. They would call 3 more. Then within about 15 minutes, a few hundred people had all been informed, and that is how we reacted fast to situations in the police when I was there and we were all off duty. Over the 3 videos that I've made about Tibet, I've probably had well in excess of 100 comments which have done nothing other than accuse me of lying or tell me I have no idea of history. Not one person has attempted to correct me with facts. They merely accuse me of being wrong or getting paid, perhaps to be right. In almost every case, I reply back asking them, when were they last in Xinjiang? And ask them to point to the lie. In almost every case, I get no confirmation of where they were. One did say they visited in 2007, and he thought I was lying still. But this one is not about Xinjiang. It's about my video where I explained why I don't complain much about my life in China. And to me, it's 100% certain that this is a troll, and I'll explain why here. JLiu8088 said, with extremely poor structure, it seems this person doesn't know how to use a full stop, a space bar, capital letters, or when to use a comma, but that could be because it's a second language, so I won't be too critical about that. We all make mistakes. And that isn't why I think this person is a troll. What JLiu8088 actually said was, I am Chinese mainland, Chinese living in China right now. I hope you criticize the government and Xi Jinping. I hope you have the guts. I don't know where Xi leads us to now. The economy is bad. Xi stands with Russia, which most China don't support. No one dare to criticize Xi now in mainland China. Those who dare to were put in prison already. Maybe foreign friends could say something. Kind of politely worded, but this is a troll. Let me tell you why. The first indicator is the word mainland. I've lived in China 20 years. I've never heard anyone refer to their country as mainland China. It's simply China, or sometimes our China. There's no delineation between any part of China when you're in China. Unless you happen to come from Hong Kong, Macau, or Taiwan, you would not address your own country as the mainland or mainland China. Now the next one is this comment about Russia, which the troll suggests, quote, most Chinese don't support, unquote. In all my years of living here, I've never once had a person ask me about politics. No one I've met in the last 3 years has asked me my opinion on the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Not one person has ever even mentioned it to me. I mention it to them. Only Westerners do this. It's not a Chinese thing to discuss the politics of whether the invasion was right, justified, or whether they support Russia or NATO. And if asked, not one Chinese person I have ever met anywhere would support anything NATO ever does. Not since the bombing of the Belgrade embassy. So to say most Chinese do not support Russia would be completely wrong. If a Chinese person said that, I'd simply ask, would you support Russia or NATO? And I know for certain the answer would be not NATO. So no, I sincerely doubt this person has ever asked a Chinese person in China what their opinion is, or has ever been told what their opinion is on China's support for Russia. Officially, China supports peace. It doesn't take a side, and the US government has sanctioned over 400 companies for supporting Russia, so it's clear that the US thinks China supports Russia, and someone is paying people to make that into a turning point. And that's what trolls do. They're often paid. I wonder if J. Liu is paid. Ask any Chinese person what they think about Russia on an individual basis, and when asked, they'll say, it's not our business. This is a cultural and stated policy of China to not interfere in the internal affairs of other countries, and Chinese people agree with that. Next is the economy. Yes, there is no doubt China has some economic woes, but they aren't anywhere near as bad as some countries. Poverty has been completely eradicated, and the focus now is on rectifying income inequality. A focus on helping rural regions to catch up is underway, and every person in China knows this because it's on every media station every day. So everyone here believes, as I do, that the economy is on the mend, and Xi Jinping is doing a great job steering through the problems which are, for the most part, created by the USA, not by China. Finally, people don't criticize Chinese leaders. That would be disrespectful. This is another Western media trolling point. Chinese people aren't rude and disrespectful. They're polite. But there are Westerners who seem to think that this degree of respect for a man who has risen to the top of the most difficult career path in human history is some kind of oppression. No Chinese person would be so disrespectful of the leadership to insult them in the way that Americans seem to think is some kind of a win. Chinese people criticize policies. It's an everyday thing. If you're on Chinese social media, you would know this. So the troll, you've proven through some very poor takes on China and Chinese people that you're not a Chinese person, you're not living in China, and in fact, you've given me great information to prove that you're just a troll. It's okay to troll me, but please, don't expect an easy ride if you do. I'm going to come straight back at you and prove you wrong. That's all for now. I will see you next time. Don't forget, like, share, and check that subscribe button. Thanks a lot. Bye for now.